Oh, no, 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 no!
It's just worse because it's a block of hot lead.
Oh, no, 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 no! You're right, you're right! Stop!
First across the giveaway lines at a roundabout has priority or right of way as one of those modern, silly, made-up driving rules spreading across the internet that so many people have swallowed hook, line and sinker. They then get really angry at you when you explain that it's nothing but a work of fiction and a total myth. If you enter a roundabout and you're involved in a collision with a vehicle that's approached from your right side, then you will most likely be found completely responsible for that collision. And if your defence is but I cross the giveaway lines first, you'll be laughed out of court if it even makes it that far. What is far more likely is you'll be laughed at behind the mute button of a claim handler over the telephone when you've just used a myth as a defence for your shoddy driving. There are of course exceptions to this, and each collision would be treated on its own merits, but it would be extremely rare that your circumstances would fit one of those exceptions. You'd probably have more chance of winning a jackpot scratch card than winning liability on a roundabout collision where a car was approaching from your right side. The first paragraph of Rule 185 is where we get our guidance on priority at a roundabout. It's not a paragraph that could be considered a grey area, it's very clear and direct. Give priority to traffic approaching from your right unless otherwise directed by signs, road markings or traffic lights. Now if you're going to counter that with the third bullet point of that same highway code rule about watching out for other road users already on the roundabout, I will correct you on that in just a second, but let's deal with the first paragraph first. You have to give priority to traffic approaching from your right. It doesn't state anywhere that crossing the giveaway lines first gives you priority, nor does it say that cars approaching from your right have to already be on the roundabout or over their giveaway lines. It just says that you give way to traffic approaching from your right. Ultimately, it's on you to assess if it's safe to join the roundabout, so if there is a vehicle approaching from your right, whether it's over giveaway lines, behind giveaway lines or coming from afar, it's on you to observe their positioning and speed. If you can enter the roundabout and you can get out of their way without that vehicle having to adjust their driving, then it would sound like it was safe for you to enter. But if you enter a roundabout and you come into conflict with a vehicle approaching from your right, let's say they have to steer to avoid you, or apply their brakes, or they collide with you, maybe they'll give you a toot of their horn or give you a gesture if it was a near miss, then you shouldn't have entered the roundabout and you should have given way to them because they had priority over you because they were approaching from your right. Now if you're going to say, but the highway code also says to be aware of vehicles already on the roundabout as you're approaching, yes, absolutely, be aware of vehicles already on the roundabout as the third bullet point says, but what else does it say? Because that third bullet point continues to say, be aware that they might not be signalling correctly or at all. This bullet point cannot be used for the made-up rule that first to a roundabout has priority, or if I've crossed giveaway lines before somebody else, I've got right of way over them. This bullet point does what it says on the tin. Watch out for other vehicles already on the roundabout. For example, if a vehicle enters in the opposite direction to you, watch out for it because it might be turning across your path because it has priority over you, and it might not even be signalling correctly. You have to watch out for it because if it does turn across your path by turning right, whether it's signalling or not, you have to give way to it. And this is why we never rely on or act on signal alone. We also have to look at the positioning of a vehicle and its speed. So I think that sums up how silly the myth is that first to a roundabout has priority and that if a car is approaching from your right, you have to give way to it. As I said earlier, there are exceptions which may bring contributory negligence to the car approaching from the right, like reckless speed or cutting across the roundabout if it's a mini roundabout, but for the 999 in 1,000, make sure to give way to traffic approaching from your right, otherwise you'll be found at fault for the collision. Lovely jubbly, sound as a pound.